close your eyes for a moment and imagine an endless library, endless corridors, shelves folding back on themselves like mirrors facing each other, pages stacked like tectonic plates of human knowledge, each one carrying words describing how a combustion engine works, the biography of a 12th century queen, the chemical composition of stardust, the story of a forgotten village that perhaps only exists because someone, somewhere, decided to write it. What if we decided to print all of it, all of Wikipedia, not just one article nor a selection of the best entries, but everything, every page, every line, every edit? It would be like trying to capture the current of a river using sheets of paper, an almost heroic effort, a technical challenge, a beautiful madness. But what if we tried anyway? Let's start with the scale. The English Wikipedia alone already houses over 6.7 million articles. If we were to print each of them with standard formatting, generous margins, and a font size that respects the reader's eyes, we'd be talking about something around 300 encyclopedia volumes. Or perhaps more. After all, we're not just printing words. We're trying to fix the fluid, to freeze what by nature was made to change. Because Wikipedia is not a book. It's an organism, a living being made of text. It breathes with every edit, grows with every new entry, corrects itself, contorts, contradicts, like any human creation destined to reflect the world. And this world doesn't stop. Every minute, about 100 edits are made to the English Wikipedia. 100 changes per minute. 150,000 per day. How do you print something that changes faster than you can finish it? Let's assume we have printers. Good printers. Inkjet, perhaps, each capable of printing 15 pages per minute. This would mean that, to keep pace with real-time edits, we would need at least 6 printers running 24 hours a day. Doesn't seem like much, right? 6 machines dedicated to the sacred craft of printing humanity's mutable memory. But then come the details. If each sheet of paper cost, say, 1 cent, we'd be spending $1,000 a day just on paper. And more. The ink, the blood of printers. That ink, which costs more per liter than French perfume, would alone consume $10,000 a day if we kept up the pace. In a month? $500,000. Just on ink. Not counting electricity, operators' salaries, printer maintenance, the physical space needed to store what has already been printed, and which, ironically, would already be outdated before it dried. But what if cost didn't matter? What if money were infinite and printers never broke down? What if logistics bent to our will? Still, the most fundamental question would remain, why? Why transform what is dynamic into static? Why capture the flow? Perhaps because somewhere deep in our collective unconscious there is a desire for permanence, a yearning for knowledge once printed to withstand time, for facts to remain, even as the world changes, for a page, a single page, to be a bastion against oblivion. But there's something paradoxical there. The attempt to print Wikipedia is, in a way, a poetic gesture. It's like trying to gather fog with your hands, or bottle wind. It's a reminder that human knowledge is not a stone monument. It's a constantly fed bonfire. And every edit, however small, a period, a comma, a corrected date, is an ember thrown into the flame. Imagine for a moment that we succeeded, that we printed everything, and we put these pages in a large concrete library, a colossal building erected in the middle of a desert. Around it, sand. Inside, paper, millions of pages telling everything we knew, until yesterday. And then the world changes. A new chemical element is synthesized. A country changes its flag. A scientist discovers something that rewrites what was once true. And there, in the desert, rests a monument to what we were, a statue of words, a fossilized echo of what we dared to call knowledge. Is it worth it? Perhaps yes, because even if truth changes, even if knowledge evolves, there is something profoundly human in trying to record, in trying to understand, in trying to contain the infinite in numbered pages. Perhaps it's the same impulse that led monks to copy manuscripts by candlelight. or ancient astronomers to draw stars with charcoal on stone. Printing Wikipedia would be more than a logistical project. It would be a work of art. It would be a gesture of reverence to the human spirit, but also a reminder of our limitation. Because no printer, not even 6 of them, could capture the totality of human experience. How do you print the pain of a war or the beauty of a sunset? How do you print doubt or love? Wikipedia can store entries about love, its definitions, its cultural manifestations, its neurochemical effects. But it cannot love. And no printed page can tell you what it feels like to hear a beloved voice at dusk. What truly matters often escapes paper, but still we try, because printing is at bottom a gesture of hope. It's our way of saying, this is worth remembering. And perhaps that's why the idea of printing Wikipedia fascinates us. Not for the act itself, but for what it represents. The audacity to make the invisible visible, to freeze a moment in the endless flow of time, to believe, even if for an instant, that knowledge can be held in one's hands. Perhaps in the end, the most valuable thing is not what we manage to print, but what we learn in the attempt. Because printing Wikipedia forces us to confront the nature of knowledge, its fluidity, its instability, its beauty in constant motion. And in doing so, it also teaches us something about ourselves, that we are creatures hungry for meaning, that we write, edit, correct, not because we know everything, but because we want to understand, because we want to leave something behind, a footprint, an impression, even knowing that the sea will come and erase. But until then, we print. If this video sparked your curiosity, if any part of this reflection made you imagine an infinite library in the middle of the desert, consider subscribing to the channel. Leave your like, share with someone who also loves strange and impossible questions, and tell us in the comments. I would try to print the infinite, even if it was just for one page. Until the next impossible thought.